Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone that is already here. Today we meet again for another session of webinar for a series of Let's Pass Paper 2 SPM English. We are glad to have all of you here, and for your information, we already have a series of webinar episodes focusing on the answering techniques for SPM. So if you haven't checked them out already, please do so in our YouTube channel, JEDLR YouTube channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe them. Okay, before we start our session for today, let me introduce myself as one of the presenters. My name is Atiqa binti Ismail, and I'm from Sekolah Menengah Sains, Kota Tinggi. And together with me is my esteemed co-presenter, Mr. Chu. Hi, Mr. Chu.
Hi, thank you very much, Cikgu Atiqa. I am Mr. Chu Jian Yong. I'm from SMK Sri Kukup Pontian, Johor. So it's indeed a great pleasure to be in this session with all of you today. Back to you, Cikgu Atiqa.
Thank you, Mr. Chu, for that brief introduction. Now, today for my session, I'm going to be focusing on Paper 2 Section C, specifically on question 26 to 30. Okay, let's begin, shall we? Right. Now, so before I go any further, if you can see that in Paper 2 1119, it is important to remember that for Section C, you are allocated only 50 minutes, 50, to complete all the tasks that are expected of you. Okay, they consist of comprehension, pemahaman, which is 10 marks, and also summary writing, which is 15 marks. For summary writing, the content will be 10 marks and the language will be 5 marks. Without further ado, let me continue to the tips of answering comprehension questions. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do when you reach Section C in Paper 2 is that you need to read the summary question first. Okay, when you have the question, you go straight to question 31. The reason being is that it will give you ideas about the passage. Meaning when you read the question for summary, it somehow gives you the main idea of what the text is going to be about. After you read question 31, you now have to go through all other questions, comprehension questions, from question 26 to question 30. But remember, before you're going through all these questions, you do not need to answer the summary question first. Okay? You read the question and then you move on to the question of 26 until 30. Okay? Why am I not asking you to read the text first? It's because when you read this very long text, you will feel overwhelmed. You will feel that it's too difficult for you to answer or to even remember or even to know the words in the long text. So we don't want to demotivate you, meaning to say that we don't want you to feel that the text is difficult, so you don't want to answer the questions. So what we do now is that we reverse things. We read the questions first. Okay, we read question 31, and then we read question 26 to 30. And then you read the passage after that. So it is to help you to be able to manage your stress when you are answering Section C, the long text. Okay, so first you read question 31, the summary question, so that you know the main idea. After that, you read the question 26 to question 30. And then you read the passage, the text, from the beginning till the end, paragraph by paragraph. Ikut perenggan lah. Okay? Okay. Now, I think that's the first two tips. Let's move on with the next tip, which is understanding the WH questions. Now, you have read the summary questions, and then you have read these questions of 26 to 30. It is very important for you to understand the WH questions, especially in question 26 to 30. Okay, so what are WH questions? Okay, you have learned this since you were in lower secondary, okay, even in primary school, I think. So WH questions consist of what? Consists of what means apa, why, kenapa, when, di mana, where, di mana, when is bila, and also who, siapa. Okay, so it's very important for you to know all these 5 WH questions because they will always come up in your question 26 to 30. So familiarize yourself with WH questions first, okay? And then after you look at the WH questions, you need to look for the answer in the stated line or paragraph. So they normally will state where in the text, where in the paragraph or line that you need to find the answers. Paragraph means perenggan and line means baris. Okay, so when you can locate all that and then you can also understand the WH questions, it will surely help you to locate the correct answer. Okay, after that, after you locate all the questions of line and paragraph and WH questions, you need to differentiate between words, phrase, and sentence because sometimes in the questions, they will ask you which word in the paragraph that explains, etc., etc., or which words that explains, etc., etc., in that paragraph. So you need to differentiate between all these 3. Okay, word means when they say word, you can only write one word. You cannot write more than one word. If you write more than one word, even though the answer is there, you will not get the marks. Same goes with words. When they say words means it's more than one word. So if you only write one, then surely we will not get any marks. Okay, phrase means frasa. Frasa here means that a combination of 2 words, gabungan 2 perkataan yang memberi makna yang berbeza lah. Okay, frasa and sentence, of course. Sentence, you know the ayat, right? Okay, so know all these things before you actually attempt. There's a below. Know these things before awak cuba menjawab. Okay, that is the most important thing. And then after that, last part is that you need to identify keywords and contextual clues. After you identify the WH questions, where to find the answer, and what is it that they want, is either words or phrase or sentence, you need to find keywords kata kunci, or contextual clues that will help you understand the question. Contextual clues means hint lah, macam bayangan kat mana tu agak-agaknya. Okay, I've got one question here. What is differentiate, teacher? Okay, differentiate comes from the word different. What does different means? Different means berbeza. So, differentiate means bezakan, kenal pasti. Bezakan mana satu perkataan, mana satu perkataan, mana satu frasa dan mana satu ayat. I hope that answers your question. Okay. I think we're ready for the next part, right? Okay. Now, so to sum up all those tips when you're answering comprehension questions is that number 1, first you need to read the question. That is the most crucial thing when you're answering comprehension text, okay? You need to read the question first, then you know what's going on. If you don't read the question, then how would you know which answer that you should be looking for in the text, okay? After you read the question, you need to identify keywords in the question, okay? Read, find keywords. After that, you match the question with the line or paragraph. Okay, padankan soalan dengan baris atau perenggan yang soalan itu mahukan. Okay, after that, since that you have identified the keywords in the first step, you can now locate similar keywords in the paragraph because you have identified them in the question. Now you can find them in the paragraph. And the answer is always in the same sentence as the keywords, the next one, the next sentence, or before it. So it means that you don't have to look, you don't have to search for the answer very far. It's going to be very nearby. So keywords there, identifying keywords there is actually helping you to understand that the words or the answers will not going to be that far from what is expected of you. Okay, and last but not least, you're allowed to change pronouns. For instance, in the text, if the character or the name of the characters in the text, perhaps like Ramli, Ali, you can use pronouns in your answer. So you can change those names of Ramli, Ali into he. Or even if the text has the name like Sarah or Siti, you can change them into she for your answers. Okay, it's whenever necessary. You can also use their name in the answer space to be on the safe side. Okay, but if you can change pronouns, it's going to be very good. Okay, all right. So I think that we are ready to try out the 4 steps of answering comprehension questions. Okay, so before we can try the 4 steps, I think that you need to know the text that we are going to use today. Okay, what I would do if I were you is that I will screenshot this text. Okay, for the first slide is paragraph 1 until 4. Okay, so do screenshot them so it's easier for you to follow the discussion after this. Okay, all right. And the second one would be paragraph 5 to 8. Okay, please screenshot them so it's easier for you to be with me throughout the session. Okay, right. Okay, let's try these 4 steps one by one. Okay, let's look at first question, question 26A. Okay, step 1, okay, read the question. Okay, from paragraph 1, what was Ismail's father's job? Okay, so the first step is that you need to read the question. Okay, so after you read the question, is you have to locate which paragraph that this question is supposed to help you. Okay, so that is the text, right? So that's the paragraph 1. Step 2, match the question with paragraph. So there you found your paragraph. You can find your paragraph 1 there. After that, you look at the WH questions that is being asked there, which is what. Okay, what here means apakah. Okay, and then the keyword here is job. I'm sure most of you know what job is. What is a job? Job is pekerjaan. So in this case, they are looking for not Ismail's job, but Ismail's father's job. So the question is asking you, from paragraph 1, apakah pekerjaan ayah Ismail? Okay, now we are moving on to the third step. Okay, can you find the keyword of job there for paragraph? I don't think so. Example of a job in the paragraph. Okay, that is the example of a job in the paragraph, and it's actually Ismail's father was the plantation lorry driver. Okay, so now let's look back at the question. The question is asking Ismail's father. So the pronoun that you need to use is he was a plantation lorry driver. Okay, this answer is accepted. And also you can write them as Ismail's father was a plantation lorry driver. This is also accepted. Okay, this type of answer is also accepted. You can also write straight away a plantation lorry driver, because again, this is still within the scope of what is being asked in the question. And lorry driver is also accepted because again, the question is asking what is the job. So lorry driver is also accepted. However, if you write driver, you think that will be accepted? In this case, no, because driver means so many things. What kind of driver Ismail's father is? So in this case, driver is not accepted. Okay, Ismail's baby girl said Ismail's father's job is plantation lorry driver. Very good. Okay, that is the answer. Plantation lorry driver. Okay, that is accepted as well. Plantation lorry driver. But if you could put a there, that would be very good. Okay, plantation lorry driver. That is accepted. Okay. What is plantation? Okay, plantation means tanaman. Okay, means that ayah dia seorang pemandu lori untuk tanaman lah. Okay, alright. Can we move on to question 27? Sorry, 26B. Okay, first, okay, we read the question. Okay, and then we locate where the answer should be. And then, okay, I've got one question here. Teacher, maka sama ke? Kalau jawab lorry driver. Yes, you will still get 1 mark. Okay, because question 26 to 30, each one of them will carry 1 mark, except for question 30. Okay, right. So from paragraph 2, okay, as you can see there, okay, there's paragraph 2. Match the question with paragraph, okay, and then you go straight to the WH question. In this case, what? Again, it's what. Okay, so when you're answering what kind of question, what here, and what do you think, what is it? So it's going to be very, in a way, easy, because this is just the first level of questioning. Apakah? Okay, you don't really have to give reasonings about or anything just yet. Okay, so what did Ismail's father do that shows he was a handyman? Okay, apakah yang membuatkan Ismail father ni seorang handyman? Okay, what is a handyman? Okay, handyman is a person yang boleh membuat kerja-kerja rencam. Okay, kerja-kerja rencam ni, it could be a lot of things. For instance, this person can do repairing or piping works, kerja-kerja perpaipan, or even wiring, kerja-kerja berkaitan dengan electric. So anything with the hands, okay? That's why it's called handyman. Okay, now, can you find the word handyman in the paragraph? Okay, there, you can find handyman. So that is your keyword there. Okay, now, you can find the keyword. Now let's find the answers that are nearby to the keywords there. It's either before the keyword, or on the sentence for the keyword, or after the keyword. So, where do you think the answer would be? Okay, the answer would be, he converted a huge cylindrical glass container into an aquarium. Okay, so again, looking back at the questions, Ismail's father. So if you want to be smart about it, you just straight away copy from the passage. He converted a huge cylindrical glass into an aquarium. Okay, that is accepted. Okay. Okay, Tan Rolin said he converted a huge cylindrical glass into an aquarium. Cylindrical glass. Okay, please stick with the answer cylindrical glass, because if you write cylindrical, then it might your answer might be in danger, because what cylindrical are we talking about here? In this case, they are talking about cylindrical glass. So it's better for you to carefully copy the answer from the passage, okay? Do not rush. If you rush and then you miss words, and then you are going to lose your marks, which is a shame, okay? Or you can write, if you're not sure with the pronoun, you can just write Ismail's father converted a huge cylindrical glass into an aquarium, okay? And then you can also straight away write converted a huge cylindrical glass into an aquarium, okay? However, the last one, the answer a huge cylindrical glass into an aquarium will not be accepted, because it didn't show what a handyman is. Okay, a handyman means that orang yang good with their hands. Okay, when they are good with their hands, it means that they're able to do stuff, to make stuff with their hands. So if you just write a huge cylindrical glass into an aquarium, it doesn't show the ability of Ismail's father to as a handyman. Okay, Okay, he converted, okay, Kevin said he converted a huge cylindrical glass container into an aquarium. Good, okay, that is the correct answer, but please be careful with your capital letter and small letter. Okay, make sure that you write he, for he, it's capital letter there, so that your answer will be what we call untouchable. It's going to be a sure 1 mark. Okay, all right. I think that we are ready to move on to question 27. Okay, first we read the question. Okay, from paragraph 3, again, we are looking for answers in paragraph 3. Okay, that's your paragraph there, paragraph 3. Okay, and WH question is why? Mengapa? Okay, you are moving up already. 26A and B is what? And then moving up means that it's a higher level of questioning. Okay, in this case, it's why lah. Why means mengapa. They want the reason, sebab. Okay, why was the writer's mother suspicious? Okay, in this case, the word suspicious. Okay, what does suspicious mean? Suspicious means curiga. Okay, so can you find the word suspicious in the paragraph there? Okay, that is where suspicious is. Okay, that is your keyword. So the answer should not be too far from the keyword now. Okay, if you can find the answers, why is it that the writer's mother is suspicious? What is happening that makes her so curiga, so suspicious? Okay, so if you look at the sentence before the keyword, all surreptitiously taken from our home. Diambil secara sembunyi-sembunyi. Okay, Mom was suspicious at times because of her missing utensils. Okay, that is the answer. Utensils mean perkakas lah, perkakas dapur, like forks and spoons, etc. Okay, so your answer, you have to look back at the question, writer's mother. So you can write her or the writer's mother's utensils were missing. Okay, that is a correct answer. Okay, some of you already answered her missing utensils. Good. Again, be careful with your punctuation, your small letter, capital letter, okay? Please be careful with that. Her or the writer's mother's missing utensils, that is accepted. How about her or the writer's mother's utensils only? There's no such thing as missing. Can we accept that? Can we accept that, class? Okay, I don't think so. You cannot accept the answer because question 37A is talking about why the writer's mother is suspicious. So if you're just talking about perkakasannya, just perkakasan, just not the idea of missing utensils, then it's not going to be answering the question. Okay. Okay, her missing utensils, good. Very good, her missing utensils. What is surreptitiously? Okay, I've explained that just now. Okay, surreptitiously means diambil secara rahsia atau sembunyi-sembunyi daripada rumah mereka. Okay, sorok-sorok lah. Suddenly, the utensils were gone. Okay, so that's why the writer's mother is suspicious. Okay, right. I think that we can move on to the next one, 27B. Okay, the first step is that we need to read the question. Okay, now you're looking for answers in paragraph 4 and line 25. Okay, so compared to the previous questions, now you're looking for two things. Okay, the paragraph and also the line. So that is your paragraph and that is your line. Okay, so you have to be careful when you are answering this question because you need to focus on these two. If you didn't, then it's very difficult for you to locate the answer. Okay, and then the WH question in this case is back to what? What does the phrase flash of color line 25 refer to? Okay, what? And the keywords here is the flash of color. So the flash of color could mean that it's pancaran warna. In Malay, we call them pancaran warna. So let's look back at the question. What does the phrase the flash of color in line 25 refer to? Okay, apakah yang dirujuk ataupun ditunjukkan sebagai pancaran warna dalam paragraph but then 20 lah, then barisan 25. Okay, so in this case, you need to find your flash of color here. And like I said always, for comprehension question, the answers are just nearby. You don't have to look so far away for this kind of question. Okay, so the flash of color. So anything that's reflecting flash of color there. Okay, going to pick past the cliffs with a shell or as a kingfisher flew by. Okay, the answer is they are talking about a kingfisher. What is a kingfisher? Very good, Juan. Okay, a kingfisher. Kingfisher means the kingfisher. Okay, the kingfisher is also accepted because you're talking about the same kingfisher in the paragraph. Okay, kingfisher means burung. It's a burung raja udang. So they have lots of colors. That's why it means the flash of color in line 25. Okay. All right. So I think that we can move on to question 28A. Okay, as usual, it's very repetitive, but it's very important. You read the question and then you underline which paragraph that you should be looking for the answers in. Okay, some answer. If I answer a kingfisher flew by. Okay, because the question wants you to be very specific. Okay, I would refrain myself from writing the whole a kingfisher flew by, because in this case, the flash of colors refers to a kingfisher. Okay, so it doesn't mean that the action of flying by is what they want in the question. They just want what? Apakah? Okay, I hope that answers your question. All right, so for 28A, you have to find the answer in paragraph 5. Okay, and the WH question is what? What had possibly made Ismail a responsible and unemotional boy? Okay, responsible means bertanggung jawab, and unemotional means that not having expressing strong feelings, meaning to say that the ability to hide their feelings and focus on the solution. Maksudnya dia tak beremosi lah. Dia hanya orang yang fokus kepada mencari penyelesaian. So that's what unemotional means. Okay. So in this case, we need to find the keywords which are acted responsibly and seldom emotional. So the answer would be, the question asks keyword by Ismail. You can straight away copy he or Ismail was the oldest child. Okay. He or Ismail was the eldest. Okay. He or Ismail is the oldest child. Can we accept this one? Okay, very good. Some of you did answer he was the oldest child. Okay. Yes, he was the oldest child. You cannot accept that he or Ismail is the oldest child because, again, it's changing the tenses that has been presented in the text. So my advice to you is that when you're answering question, okay, again, this differs from one examiner to another, but to be on the safe side, you need to use the tenses that has been used in the text. If the tense being used is the tenses that are being used is past, stick with past tense. Do not change the tense because we might never know how strict the scheme would be. Okay, so stick to the tenses that has been presented by the text. Okay. All right. So I think that we can move on to question 28B. Right. Step 1, read the question. From paragraph 6, which word conveys the meaning of took care of? Okay, you can find them in paragraph 6. What does took care of means? Okay, took care of. Took care of means menjaga. So what do we normally took care of? Okay, it's either pets, okay, pets, binatang kesayangan, or it could be a baby. In this case, it's baby Udin. Okay, so if you look at the question, the sentence, his younger sisters minded baby Udin. So took care of here means minded. Okay, so the answer will be minded. or minded. Okay, even though I said that the capital letter and small letter is very important, but we could accept this. But like I said, do not make it a common practice. Okay, please stick to the real writing convention. Okay, so if it's the beginning of the word, then it has to be in capital letter. Mind or minding. Both are not accepted because again, you have to follow the form of the words from the text. If it is in past tense, please write your answer in past tense. In this case, took care of is in past tense because the present tense is take care of. So when you find the answers in the paragraph, please exactly copy what you found in the paragraph. Do not change them into other form. Okay. Right, let's look at question 29A. Okay, from paragraph 7, why do you think the writer did not want to be late for his job interview? Okay. Why? Mengapa penulis tu tak nak lambat pergi ke job interview dia? Kenapa? Okay. Okay. So this is the keywords there. Okay, it's very close by. The answer is very close by. It's actually here. There was a recession and jobs were scarce. So recession means kemelisan ekonomi and scarce means sukar didapati. So why do you think the writer did not want to be late? Is because there was a recession and jobs were scarce. You can straight away copy from the paragraph, from the sentence. Okay. Okay, now 29B. From paragraph 8, give one piece of evidence that Ismail and his family was doing well in their lives. Okay, so you have to look for two things here, paragraph 8 and line 46 to line 47. Okay, paragraph 8 is here. Okay, and then the line 46. So that's 45. So the 46 and 47 is lines under it. Okay. So in this case, doing well. One piece, satu bukti di mana hidup Ismail dan keluarganya adalah sangat bahagia atau berjaya. Okay. So doing well means berjaya. Okay. So what do you think the answers would be for this one? You just need one piece of evidence. Okay. Okay, what should we do if we do not understand the meaning of the keywords? Okay, let me address that in a bit. Okay, so in this case, the answers would be: is my parents were well, his sisters were married, so was he. Okay, so these are the suggested answers. You don't have to answer the whole 4 answers here. Okay, Ismail's parents were well, Ismail's sisters were married, Ismail was married, and Ismail has a job in Pahang. Okay, so for this kind of question, you need to choose only one. You could write more, but there's no guarantee that you will get that 1 mark lah. Or because if you write more, sometimes you will be penalized because you are not exactly following what the question wants. The question wants one piece. If you write more, then you are not following the rubric, then you are not going to get marks. So it's very important that you follow the rubric. Okay, the other times just now mentioned that if you do not understand the keyword that is being presented in the text, okay, I don't think that you will have problem to understand all the keywords there. Okay, so perhaps in the keywords there are some words that you could understand, and I think that you can work yourself from there. Okay, so if you understand 1 or 2 things, okay, try to look out for these 2 keywords that you know in the paragraph, and then you work out the answers from there. Okay, I hope that answers your question. And let's look at the last question, which is question 30. Okay, this is where what I call a gold mine for your marks. Okay, meaning to say that for question 30, normally you will be given the freedom to answer all the questions based on your logic and your rationale. as long as it's relevant to the text. Okay, so in this case, the question is asking you, suggest one way to maintain friendships. Okay, one way, satu cara, one way is cara, untuk mengekalkan persahabatan. And give a reason why, sebab. Macam mana cara ni boleh tolong awak mengekalkan persahabatan ni. Okay, so these are the suggested answer. Again, these are the suggested answer. You cannot write more, please write only one. Okay, if they say one, write one. If they want two, write two. Okay, follow exactly what the question wants. Okay, one of the suggestions is stay in touch with your friends. And the reason being is that you become close with your friends. Okay, and also it's that you can give presents to your friends on their birthdays. So that the reason is that your friends can feel happy or special because they receive presents during their birthdays or other celebration. Okay, one important thing that I need to remind you is that, one important thing that I need to remind you in these questions is that make sure that your cara, your way, is can be matched with your reason. Maksudnya, dia kena selari. Dia tak boleh, way is, for example, you say stay in touch with your friends. Your reason being is that because I like to use social media, for instance, because stay in touch means stay connected, right? So your reason is I like to use social media. So you're not going to get your mark there for both of the way and reason. Why? Because your way did not match with your reason. So it's very important that these two go together. And also it has to be logical. If it's about friendship, then it's about ways of maintaining friendship. Okay. I think that's all from me for the section of question 26 to 30. I think it's time for me to pass this over to Mr. Chu. Mr. Chu?
Thank you very much, Cikgu Atiqa, for sharing with us such useful tips on how to answer reading comprehension questions. So I'm very happy to see a lot of you are actually commenting and participating actively. So well done. Okay, so keep the questions coming. So we will try our best to help you to answer all your questions. Okay, without further ado, let's proceed to the next part of section C, which is summary writing. Okay, so in your SPM paper 2, section C, you'll be given a reading comprehension text. Then you have to answer comprehension questions, question 26 to 30, followed by summary writing. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, summary writing is actually your question 31, soalan 31, and this is an overview on how the question is going to be like in your SPM examination. So I believe most of you are already very familiar with it. So allow me to continue. Okay, so you have to know the mark allocation for summary writing question 31. Total marks, 15 marks, okay? Content, you'll be given 10 marks, and for language, you'll be given 5 marks. Total 10 plus 5, 15. Okay? Next, okay. In your summary writing, you need to identify content points. 10 marks given for content, 1 content point is awarded 1 mark. And you need to identify at least 10 content points. If you can notice in the slide, okay, I've underlined the phrase at least. Why do we need to identify at least 10 content points? Why? Okay, because in every summary writing, usually there'll be more than 10 content points. So if you only identify 10, let's say if 1 or 2 are wrong, okay, then you will lose marks. But if you identify more than 10, if let's say 1 or 2 are wrong, you still have backup points. So that's the reason why you need to identify at least 10 content points. Okay, summary made easy. You need to follow these 6 simple steps, okay? Like what Cikgu Atiqa has told you just now. Reading comprehension questions, there are steps. Same goes to summary writing. So you have to follow these 6 simple steps. If you can do it, then I'm very sure you can write your summary well. Step 1. You have to read the summary topic, or what we call the stimulus, okay? The topic of the summary is very important. So this is your question. Which is the summary topic? Okay, as indicated, I've highlighted this is the summary topic. Based on the passage given, write a summary on how the writer and Ismail spend their time together during their childhood. So this is your summary topic. You need to read very carefully and understand the topic before you can locate the content points. Okay, so this is the topic. As you can see, I've highlighted the keywords. So let's discuss this together. Write a summary on how. How means bagaimana, macam mana. The writer and Ismail, penulis dan Ismail. So if you can notice here, there are two characters involved here. Spend their time together, menghabiskan masa mereka bersama during their childhood. Childhood ialah zaman kanak-kanak. So when you read this summary topic, you will definitely know that you are supposed to look for actions, perbuatan, or activities, activities done by the writer and Ismail, only the writer and Ismail, during their childhood, together. Clear, everyone? Okay, let's proceed. What if, I'm very sure a lot of you will ask me this question, if the topic consists of two or more parts, macam mana cikgu kalau topik itu ada banyak bahagian? For example, like this. Write a summary on what Mary did to save her family and the problems she faced while saving them. So as you can see here, there are two parts. Part one, what Mary did. Part two, the problems she faced. So how should you handle this type of question? Very well. So this is what you should do. You have to make sure there are content points related to part one and also content points related to part two. Kena pastikan ada content point yang menjawab bahagian pertama dan juga content point yang menjawab bahagian kedua. And the number does not matter. Okay, you don't have to think like this. Okay, I must have 5 content points for part 1 and 5 content points for part 2. Not necessarily. Tidak sentiasa macam itu. Okay, so maybe sometimes you will have 7 points for part 1 and only 3 points for part 2. Or sometimes maybe only 4 points for part 1 or 6 points for part 2. It's okay as long as you answer both parts. The number of content points for each part does not matter. Clear? And the second reminder is you have to always present the content points following the sequence as they are written in the text. Apa maksud dia? You kena ikut urutan seperti mana content point itu dipersembahkan dalam teks. You have to follow the sequence. You don't have to group them. Tak payah, okay, let's say part 1, I have 5 points, I group them first. Then only the second part, 5 points. You don't have to do that. You just follow the sequence of the content points as is presented in the text. For example, maybe content point 1 will answer part 1. Content point 2 will answer part 1. Content point 3 will answer part 2. It's okay. You don't have to group them separately. Understood so far? Okay. If you have any questions, don't forget, you can ask, okay? And I'll try to answer. Okay, so step 2. So now we have reached step 2. You have to identify the summary area. Cikgu, apa maksud dia summary area? Okay, summary area means, okay, when you have your question, the second bullet point here, your summary must use materials from lines 6 to 36. You have to highlight that part, make sure you only find content points from that particular summary area. You don't find from line 1 to 5 or 37 onwards. There will be no points there. Okay, so this is what you should do when you get your question paper. Okay, draw a line across to indicate where to start. Mana nak mula? Line 6. Okay, so this is your comprehension text, okay? You have to draw a line across. So where is line 6? Is between 5 and 6. So this is your starting point. Draw a line across. You start from here, differences, okay? And from there onwards, this will be your summary area. Find content points from there. Don't forget also to draw a line after, okay, across to indicate where to end. After that, next page or maybe the same page, you have to draw a line across to indicate where to end. For example, here, line 36, you have to draw a line after line 36. Okay, so ends with 1,000 words, stop there. So this is your ending point, and the summary area is above. Only 5 content points from the summary area. Are you clear? Good. So let's proceed to step number 3. Step number 3, you have to check the number of words for your summary and also the 10 words given. Okay, what do I mean by that? Okay, now let's go to the third bullet point. Your summary must be not longer than 130 words, including the 10 words given below. Okay, some of you may say, Cikgu, I dah tahulah summary itu 130 patah perkataan. Don't. You still have to check. Okay, read again the instruction carefully. Make sure that it's really not longer than 130 words. And you have to always read the 10 words given. You like it or not, you have to begin your summary with the 10 words given here, as I've highlighted. The writer and Ismail became friends at night, and they blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is very important. Why do you have to read the 10 words? Because sometimes certain texts, like the text just now, okay, they are using the first person pronoun, I. Dia guna kata ganti nama diri pertama, saya. But here, in the summary question, is using the writer, penulis itu. So, dia bukan I. Okay, so in this situation, you have to bear in mind, okay, you are not you. You are not the I in the text. You have to change all the I to the writer. So, there is a need to change the pronoun here. Okay, and a quick guide for you. I, if it's used as a subject, you have to change to the writer. Me, if it is used as an object, you have to change to the writer, or him or her, depending on the gender of the character. As for we, let's say we, kita ataupun kami, as the subject, you have to change to they. Us, kami atau kita, as the object, you have to change to them. So these are the things that you have to bear in mind when you answer summary questions. Are you clear, students? If you are clear, the first step, second step, third step, now we are going to the fourth step. Okay, I have one question from Chelin. Kalau terlupa tulis 10 words tolak markah, okay, 10 words itu telah diberi kepada anda. Okay, and you have to use it. If you don't use the 10 words, you start with something else. So, 10 perkataan yang diberi itu kira telah diberi pada you. So you will lose 10 words. You akan rugi 10 perkataan yang diberi itu. So your summary will only be 120 words. You understand? So if you don't use your first word will automatically become the 11th word. Okay, because the 10 words have been given, you don't use. You use your own word to start. Then your first word will become the 11th word. So you rugilah 10 patah perkataan. Is that clear? Okay, so let's proceed to step 4. Step 4, you have to locate at least 10 content points. Okay, you have to read line by line from line 6 to line 36. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's no easy way for summary. You have to read line by line, sentence by sentence, phrase by phrase, word by word. And this is what I'm going to do with you. Okay, as you can remember, line 6 to 36, you have to start off with the 10 words given. The writer and Ismail became friends at night and they blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now I've taken all the paragraphs from line 6 to 36. Let's locate the content points together. Bear in mind, you have to always look back at the summary topic. Okay, the first step. How the writer and Ismail spend their time together during their childhood. So I have actually put a box there in yellow. So that is the summary topic. Always remind yourself, stick to the topic. Are you ready? Let's locate the content points together. So let's go now. Differences. Any point there, differences, only one word. So of course, there's no point. Throw it away. First sentence of the next paragraph. We must have been 9 when we became friends. Umur kita 9 apabila kita jadi kawan. Does that answer how the writer and Ismail spend their time together? Macam mana mereka menghabiskan masa bersama? No, right? That's just a statement. So that's not the point. Throw it away. Ismail, my elder brother Jyoti, and I would watch with fascination as his father busied himself in his workshop. Okay, elder brother Jyoti and I and Ismail watched with fascination. Dia tengok, wow, as his father, Ismail's father, busied himself in his workshop. Is this a point? Is this how they spend their time together? Yes, right. So this is your first point. I've highlighted for you in red. Okay, and this is your first content point. Would watch with fascination as his father busied himself in his workshop. Okay, clear? Let's continue. Ismail's father, a genial bear of a man, very cheerful and friendly, was a handyman of sorts. Is there any point there? It's talking about Ismail's father, betul? Okay, so we are not interested in the father. We are interested in how the writer and Ismail spend their time together. So there's no point there. Throw it away. Okay, once he converted a huge cylindrical glass container into an aquarium. This is what Ismail's father did. Yes or no? The he here refers to Ismail's father. So this is not we are interested in. Okay, not what we are interested in. So there's no point. It's what Ismail's father did. So there's no point. Throw that sentence away. We were thrilled whenever we had the chance to help him with his tools. We here refers to the writer and Ismail. Yes or no? They had the chance to help the father with the tools. So is that how they spend their time together? Yes. So this is the second content point. But bear in mind, boys and girls, you have to change the pronoun we to they. Because, that is the first person pronoun. In the summary, you are asked to write in the third person. So they had the chance to help him with his tools. Clear? Okay, so you have 2 points here in this paragraph. Let's proceed. Okay, this is the next one. Okay, the same summary topic you have to bear in mind. So let's read together. In time, the three of us built a den from discarded zinc sheets and old wooden planks not far from our homes. Tiga mereka built a den, bina satu pondok, from discarded zinc sheets and old wooden planks. So is that how they spend their time together? They did something together, yes or no? So this is your third content point. I've highlighted. Remember again, similarly, you have to change the three of us to they. They built a den. Okay, you can see from my content point here, from discarded zinc sheets and old wooden planks, I put them in brackets. Why? Brackets means they are optional. Okay, optional maksudnya dia ada pun tak apa, kalau tak ada pun tak apa. It's okay to be there or not to be there. Okay, so it's okay. So why do I have to tell you that? Because later on when you write your summary, you have to always remind yourself about the number of words. Don't exceed 130. So if let's say you have too many words, this bracketed part you can just throw away. If you don't have enough words, then you can add this part in. Are you clear? Okay, so let's continue. Here, we spent many a sultry afternoon. Okay, sultry means very hot and uncomfortable, sangat panas dan tidak selesa. Here we spent many a sultry afternoon. Okay, sampai sini. Kita spend banyak afternoon yang panas dan sangat tak selesa bersama-sama. Here means where? Here means in the den, yes or no? In the den that they have built. So is this a point? Mereka menghabiskan masa sama-sama dalam den itu. So that is a point. So this is our point number 4. Okay, but you have to bear in mind, here you have to change to there or in the den, dalam den itu. You have to change to they, spend many a sultry afternoon. Okay, clear? Let's continue reading. Away from my younger sister Prema, a curious 7-year-old who constantly wondered what her secretive brothers were up to. It's about the younger sister Prema. Are you interested in Prema? No, we are not interested in the younger sister Prema. We are only interested in the writer and Ismail and what they did together. So this part is not understood. Let's continue. We would enjoy the sugar cane and guavas that Ismail brought from his garden. Kita akan makan bersama-sama sugar cane tebu dengan guava, jambu batu that Ismail brought from his garden. Is that how they spend their time together? Yes, so this is our next point, point 5. We would enjoy the sugarcane and guavas that Ismail brought from his garden. Remember, you have to change we to they. Wonderful. They enjoyed the sugarcane and guavas that Ismail brought from his garden. So similarly, those in bracketed, depending on the number of words you later, okay? If you don't have enough words, you add in too many words, then you can just throw this part away. Because our main idea here is just to enjoy the sugarcane and the guavas. Okay, next, let's continue. We would provide the tapioca, kitchen utensils, and salt, all surreptitiously taken from our home. Okay, until this part, I would like you to hold for a moment. Why? Ini nampak macam tindakan, benda yang mereka buat sama-sama, betul? But I want you to hold first. You see later on any other clearer idea. Okay, so we hold first. We continue reading first. Mom was suspicious at times, but she never made a fuss over her missing utensils. Mom curiga, tapi dia tak pernah kecoh tentang alat dia yang hilang. We are not interested in mom. We are interested in how the writer and Ismail only, how these two people spend their time together. So this part we have to throw away. It's not a point. After washing the tapioca using water from a nearby stream, we then slice it into the thin half-moon disc, sprinkle on a little salt, and deep fry them in a wok over an open fire. All these are explaining how they make the tapioca chips. So mereka basuh ubi kayu, mereka potong, mereka letak salt, mereka goreng dalam wok. Okay, until now, it seems like this is how they spend their time together, betul? But continue reading first. The next sentence. That was how we made our tapioca chips. So just now, all the actions above are actually explaining this part. They are making their own tapioca chips. So summary, you need to be concise, precise. So which part are you going to take? Are you going to take the long stretch in front or just the main part, making own tapioca chips? Of course, you are going to take only the main part, which is how they make their own tapioca chips. So this is your point number 6. Remember to change we to they, our own tapioca chips, to their own tapioca chips. Okay, clear? I've never tasted better ones. This is not the point, obviously. Okay, so far we have 6 content points. Are you ready to continue? Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is the next section of the text. Remember the summary topic. You have to always answer the summary topic. During the school holidays, we would explore the countryside on our bicycles, hoping to come across the unexpected. Masa cuti, kita akan pergi ke kawasan luar bandar, kayu bicycle. Is that how the writer and Ismail spend their time together? Yes, so this is a point. Okay, this is your point number 7. Remember to change we to they. On our bicycles, their bicycles. Okay, clear? Going zipping past the cliffs with a sheer ravine falling away on the other side of the path was exhilarating. Mereka lalu kawasan lembah yang curam. So is that how they spend their time together? Obviously it is. So your next point will be point 8. When zipping past the cliffs. Okay, why did I change going to when? Because the second part was exhilarating, the feeling was very exciting. We are not interested in the feeling. We are interested only in the action and the activity. So if you just copy from going to path, the sentence will be hanging. So you have to change going to when. When zipping past the cliffs, again with brackets, with a sheer ravine falling away on the other side of the path, that's optional. So you can choose to write or not to write later. Okay, let's continue. Stopping to catch our breath, we would watch the flash of color as a kingfisher flew by. So is that a point? Of course, that is a point because they are watching the kingfisher together. That's how they spend their time together. So remember to change we to they watched the flash of color as a kingfisher flew by. So these experiences fill us with a sense of adventure and awe. No point there, it's just an elaboration. Okay, are you ready to continue? Perhaps because he was the oldest child, Ismail acted responsibly and was seldom emotional. Is this a point? No, because this is actually Ismail's characteristic. Dia cakap tentang Ismail saja. Dia bukan cakap tentang apa yang Ismail dan the writer tu buat sama-sama. Okay, so this is not a point. It's just Ismail's characteristic. He had a steady hand and was quick to help. That is also another characteristic of Ismail. Yes or no? So there's no point there. Once, he definitely removed a thorn that had placed my foot while we were swimming in a stream. Any content point? Yes, the last part. They were swimming in a stream. So that's how they spend their time together. Okay, remember to change we to they. Okay, removing a thorn is not considered. Why? Because it's just a response. Ismail's response when they met with an accident. It's not how they spend their time together. Clear? So now we have 10 points. Last part. Okay? Yeah. Occasionally, during the weekends, Jyoti and I would go to Ismail's house. The writer and Jyoti would go to Ismail's house. Are they spending time together there? Yes. So is this a point? Yes. So point 11, I have to change to the writer would go to Ismail's house during the weekends. Okay, let's continue. His younger sisters minded Bibi Udin as their mother, a petite woman in a sarong, smiled and busied herself in a small kitchen. Any point? It's talking about the younger sisters and the mother. We are not interested in the sisters and the mother. We are interested in what the writer and Ismail did. Okay, so no point there. You can throw that away. In the small kitchen. Okay, I remember once she stewed some chicken while the children peered into the pot and murmured delicious. Sedap. Siapa yang masak? Mother. So is that the point? No, because I'm not interested in what mother did. Okay, I'm interested in how the writer and Ismail spend their time together. So there's no point. Let's continue. Just like my family, they rarely had meat. It's just a mere statement, no content point. At times, Ismail would accompany our family as we made a rare shopping trip to town. Ismail akan teman keluarga kami bila kita pergi shopping. Is that how the writer and Ismail spend their time together? Yes. So this is your last content point, point number 12. Remember, you have to change our family to the writer's family, and you have to change to they made a rare shopping trip to town. So 1,000 words, we would be glad of his company. The shy smile on his face spoke 1,000 words. These are not points. Okay, so this is the end of line 36. So total, we have how many content points? Okay, we have 12 content points. Okay, I have a question here. What if the content point in the diao? What is the meaning? I don't really understand. What is the meaning of what if the content point in the diao? I mean, okay, maybe you are referring to the content point in the dialogue. Dialogue, is it? Is it dialogue? Okay, let's say if it's in the dialogue section, okay, it's easy. It's similar. You have to take the content point, but you have to remember to change the pronoun because usually in dialogue is using I, we, yes or no? So you have to change the pronoun too. And you just take the content point as usual. Okay, so like what we discussed just now, we have 12 content points in the summary from point 1 to point 12. If you can include all this in your summary, wonderful, brilliant, splendid. You will get 10 marks in your hands straight away. Okay, clear? Okay, Ruziatul have a question. Do we need to have sequence connectors in summary writing? If we use repetitive sequence connector next in the host, will I be penalized? Okay, very good, Ruziatul, but don't worry, I'll come to that later. Okay, are you ready? Okay, now let's look at the language part. We are done with the content part, 10 marks. Now we have to look at the language part, 5 marks for summary. Okay. So when we look at language, there are two things that we are thinking of. You have to tell yourself you have to tell yourself that you are thinking of two things here. Okay, two aspects. The first one is your ability to paraphrase, rewrite using own words without changing the original meaning. Apa maksud dia paraphrase? You boleh tulis semula, gunakan perkataan sendiri tanpa mengubah maksud asal ayat itu. So that's your ability to paraphrase. And we also look at your use of English. Okay, which involves your grammar, your vocab, spelling, punctuation, sentence structures, all need to be accurate. And we are also looking at cohesion and coherence. Apa maksud cohesion and coherence? We are looking at the flow of ideas from one sentence to another in your summary, whether it flows smoothly or not. And we are looking at how you are able to join the sentences, the content points, using suitable conjunctions. So these are the things that we are looking at. Don't worry, I'll come to that later. I'll give you more examples, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a few summary tips for language, okay? Do not, remember, do not copy 100%, word by word, line by line. Sometimes, some of you tend to copy the whole thing, whole paragraph. Oh, salin saja. Please don't do that. If you copy 100% only, there's no effort, okay? We don't see any effort in the change of the language, then your marks for language will be quite low. And the second tip is you have to show that you have done some changes to the original text. You telah mengubah sesuatu. You bukan apa yang diberi, you bagi balik. You ada ubah something, the changes. So what sort of changes? I'm going to brief you shortly. And the last tip is, do not try to change every single word. Okay? I minta you ubah, tapi bukan maksudnya ubah setiap perkataan. Especially verbs, terutamanya kata kerja. Why? Because I'm afraid you might change the original meaning. Verbs are very important. Sometimes if you change it, it will change the whole meaning. So when you change the whole meaning, you will lose your mark even for the content points. Okay, so these are the summary tips. I'm going to bring you further. Bear with me, okay? Now, step 5. Just now we are done with step 4. Now step 5 is you have to learn how to replace and reorganize certain words intelligently. Dengan bijak, you ganti sesetengah perkataan, you ubah susunan sikit, but bear in mind, try not to change the verbs. But if you are very confident, you know that definitely that is the synonym, why not? You can go ahead. I'm not stopping you, but you need to be 100% confident before you change the verbs, okay? So I'm going to give you a few examples from the summary text, okay? This is the exact sentence from the text. Is content point 2, our content point 2 just now. We were thrilled whenever we had the chance to help him with his tools. How are you going to change intelligently? So I'm going to give you one example. Okay, we here refers to the writer and Ismail. So maybe you can write the writer and Ismail, or you just put they. Had the chance. Okay, chance to apa? Peluang. So you know that chance, synonym is opportunity. So if you know for sure, you can always replace chance with opportunity. Okay, to help him. Who is him in the text? Him means Ismail's father. So if you can change him to Ismail's father with his tools. Okay, so this whole sentence reads, the writer and Ismail, they had the opportunity to help Ismail's father with his tools. So you telah tukar dengan bijak. Okay, I'll give you another example. Okay, looking at content point number 5 just now. This one. This is the exact sentence from the text. We would enjoy the sugarcane and guavas that Ismail brought from his garden. How to change intelligently? We, you can change to they. Would enjoy, you can always put ed, enjoyed, make it into simple past tense. The sugarcane and guavas, sama tak if we write guavas and sugarcane? They mean the same thing, right? For example, I like chocolate and ice cream. I like ice cream and chocolate. Dua-dua I suka. If that's the case, you can just swap the position. Guavas go to the front, sugarcane go to the back. And they still mean the same thing. Then you can do that. But please be very careful if it involves sequence. Kalau dia melibatkan susunan. For example, okay, I am going to the market. Then I bought fish and vegetables. If that's the case, you don't change. Fish and vegetables come first, then only you go to the market. It will disturb the sequence. Clear? Okay, let's continue. That, okay, that you can always replace with which. Okay, which is a synonym, right? Relative pronoun. Ismail brought from his garden. So they enjoy the guavas and sugarcane which Ismail brought from his garden. So this is what we call changing intelligently. Okay, I have a question here from Jaylin. If I don't change, what mark I can get for language? Okay, if you don't change, you just copy exactly from the text. Usually your language will be either 1 or maybe if you are lucky enough, you can get 2, the lower band. If you can learn how to change like this, maybe you can get 3 or maybe you can get 4. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Okay, the last sample on how to change intelligently is this. Content point number 9 from the text. This is the exact sentence. We would watch the flash of color as a kingfisher flew by. Okay, you can see here in the sentence there are 2 parts. The first part, we would watch the flash of color. The second part, as a kingfisher flew by. Masa burung tu terbang lalu, kita boleh nampak pancaran warna. So how to change? An intelligent way of changing, you can do like this. The second part of the sentence, you bring to the front. As a kingfisher flew by, but you have to remember to add a comma. As a kingfisher flew by, comma. Okay, the front part to the back part to the front. And we here, you change to the right, Ismail would watch the flash of color. This is what we call examples of intelligent replacing, or you organize back some of the keywords. Clear? Okay, let's proceed to the last step. After you have located the content points, after you have changed certain keywords intelligently, now it's time to join all your content points together using suitable conjunctions or connectors. Okay, here I'm giving you some examples of conjunctions. As you can see here, conjunctions maksudnya kata hubung. For example, and, before, after. These conjunctions are used to combine 2 sentences, 2 content points into 1. Tengah-tengah, you gabung dengan and, before, or after. Okay, these are conjunctions. Apart from conjunctions, we also have connectors. Like what just now, the candidate just now, someone asked about connectors, right? So this is the part, connectors, sequence connectors. Okay, besides, furthermore, in addition, moreover. Okay, for this part, these connectors, besides, furthermore, in addition, moreover, it means selain itu, di samping itu, tambahan pula. And they are used at the beginning of the sentence. Depan ayat, comma, you continue. Okay, and we also have another type of connectors, which is what we call this. Okay, then, later, after that, and next. All this, okay, maksud dia ialah selepas itu, kemudian, seterusnya. They are also used at the beginning of the sentence. But what's the difference between those in column 2 and those in column 3? Okay, those in column 3, as you can see, I indicate that, show sequence. Dia menunjukkan urutan. Okay, for example, I do this thing first. Okay, I went to the market, full stop. Then I bought some fish and vegetables. You went to the market first. Then, lepas itu, baru you beli fish and vegetable. In that situation, you use this kind of connectors, the sequence connectors. But sometimes, the text does not have any sequence, for example. For example, we are talking about a text, talking about advantages of watching TV, for example. Okay, so when we watch TV first, okay, the first advantage is blah, 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 blah. Selain itu, so you use the second column. Besides, furthermore, the next advantage is blah, 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 blah. So are you clear about this? Okay, there is a difference between connectors in column number 2 and also connectors in column number 3. Okay, so boys and girls, this part actually you can snap. Okay, you can snapshot, screenshot, okay, for your own reference later. Okay, have you done that? If you have done that, let's proceed. A little bit more, just bear with me, okay? I'm going to show you a few examples. Okay, these are sentences from the text. Content point 3, content point 4. Exact sentences from the text. Let's read together. In time, the 3 of us built a den from discarded zinc sheets and old wooden planks not far from our homes. This is what we call a simple sentence, ayat tunggal, because it only has a verb and a main idea. Okay, let's look at the sentence of content point 4. Here, we spend many a sultry afternoon. This is also another example of simple sentence, ayat tunggal, because there ada satu verb, satu idea saja. So, there are 2 content points here in 2 different sentences. 2 are simple sentences. Can you join these 2 content points together using a simple conjunction? Of course you can. The simplest conjunction is and, done. So this is what you can do. The writer and Ismail built a den from old wooden planks and discarded zinc sheets and spent many a sultry afternoon there. So the green colored N is actually your own conjunction. Kata hubung you sendiri. Dan you telah berjaya gabungkan, you have joined two content points using your own conjunction, which is very good because you have made your own compound sentence. Daripada dua ayat tunggal, you gabungkan, you jadikan dia sebagai satu ayat majmuk. Okay, so this is what we want to see. After you have identified all the content points, join them using suitable conjunctions. Okay, I'm going to give you another example. Okay, so N is your own conjunction. Another example here. Okay, we have content point 7 from the text 2, okay, and content point 8. During the school holidays, we would explore the countryside on our bicycle. This is also a simple sentence. Content point 8, going zipping past the cliffs with a sheer ravine falling away on the other side of the path was exhilarating. This is also another simple sentence. So how to join them? You can use and again, like this. During the school holidays, remember to change we today, they explored the countryside on their bicycles and when zipping past the cliffs. So you have, again, made your own compound sentence, which is a good way, okay, of improving your marks for language. So N is, again, your own conjunction. Okay, I'm going to show you how to use connectors. Let's say if you don't feel like you say you have used too many N's, you are sick of N's already. So you can join like this. Another example using connector. Let's look at content point 5. We would enjoy the sugarcane and guavas that Ismail brought from his garden, and also content point 6. That was how we made our own tapioca chips. How to join them. If you do not want to use conjunctions, you can try using connectors, okay? Like what I said just now. So for example, your own sentence will sound like this. They enjoyed the guavas and sugarcane, which Ismail brought from his garden, full stop. Selain itu, besides, so you add your own connector, they also made their own tapioca chips. So you can do things like that too, okay? And this is good, okay? So besides is your own connector. So I hope you have a very clear idea of all the steps that I'm talking about. Okay, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now, after you have done all the steps, is finally the final product. Okay, so now you're ready to write your summary. Remember, 130 words, including the 10 words given. And this is how your summary is going to look like. Okay, for this one, all 12 content points are in there. So you get 10 marks for your content. The red colored part are the part that you have changed just now. And the green colored ones are the conjunctions and the connectors that you have used. Isn't that easy? And this is exactly 130 words. Remember, don't write too little because you will miss the content points. Don't write too much because after 130 words, okay, everything that you wrote won't be read. Okay, so this is an example. You can screenshot this, okay? And just a reminder, okay, some people may ask this. As Ismail's father, okay, Ismail's father, apostrophe S, how do we count that thing? So Ismail's father, Ismail is counted as one word with the apostrophe S. Okay, it is considered one word. So when will it be considered two words? For example, when you use contractions, contoh macam shouldn't, okay? Shouldn't is actually the contraction for should not. Okay, I should not do this, I shouldn't do this. So if you put shouldn't there, it's considered two words. But in this case, Ismail's father is just one word for Ismail's. Okay, clear everyone? So this is your final product. Okay, we have another question from Chelin. Can I write answer in box? Okay, some of you like to write in box. That means you count. Okay, there are 5 columns there. One line, I'm going to put only 5 words. And I'm going to, okay, put how many lines in order to reach 130. One column, I put only 1 word. You can do that, not a problem. Okay, but if you do not want to do that, it's also not a problem. It's up to you. Anything that you find easy, you do it. Okay, so this is the final product. I think that's all from me. Any questions? If you have any questions, I'm opening to questions and answers now. No questions? Okay, we have one question from Ariza Azira. If I add the connectors but do not change the words, what mark can I get? Okay, you have the connectors, but please make sure you use the connectors accurately. You don't change the words. Okay, what mark can I get? Actually, it's very difficult to say like this. It depends on the text, the reading comprehension text, and the summary itself, your own summary. Okay, it's difficult to say like this because for different summary question, is different. Okay, we cannot just generalize how many marks that you can get. It depends on the nature of the reading text and also the question and also your summary. Okay, that's all I can say. Hopefully I've answered your question. If I do not use any sentence connectors, will I be penalized? You won't be penalized, but you have to make sure that your ideas link from one sentence to another. Okay, if it is linked properly, if I read, I can follow, it's okay. But usually sentence connectors will help to a certain extent. Okay, if you do not want to use sentence connectors, use conjunctions. Make more compound sentences using and, okay, before, after, for example. Okay, another question from Yami. What if I write more than 130 words? Okay, like I said just now, if you write more than 130 words, okay, whatever after the 130th word will not be read. Okay, so try to stick to 130. Okay, make it very concise, okay, very short and straight to the point. Does in addition counted as one word? From Emily Lai, thank you. In addition, 2 words. Okay, 2 words. Any more questions? Okay, Cikgu Atiqa, anything to say?
I think there's no more questions coming in. I think I would like to say thank you for this opportunity of sharing this knowledge and some tips with you. So I hope that with the tips that we've shared, it will help you a lot in the upcoming SPM paper for English.
Okay, thank you very much, Cikgu Atiqa. Yeah, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Pengarah Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Johor and also Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Johor for giving us this golden opportunity to share some of these useful tips for reading comprehension and also summary with all the students here. Okay, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have another series coming, okay, focusing on webinar focusing on poems and novels next week. So stay tuned with us. And for those SPM students, don't forget to go back to school tomorrow. I wish you all the best in your SPM. Good luck and goodbye. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.